Hey guys, so here we go. Follow-up video to our Rathalos paint part 2. We're going to do our bone white on the bottom here. Right, like along, basically we're going to do cleanup along these not quite overspray, but overdone of the heavy brushing we did. So I could do with the large, almost dry brushing, but I want to slow down now and start to do some of the fine work instead of the heavy duty brushing that I've done. So like right here, I've got a little bit of wet paint still from bleeding over from the other side. So we want to stop that from happening. But in this case, I don't mind if I have little red because it's still kind of like a red dragon. It's not a complete, total, not complete and total here. And I'm just trying to damp up some of this where it's still a little damp from the fan not drying it off. So but and then what we're going to work on, I'm actually going to thicken this up a little more because it's a little too runny for me, is we're going to work on starting to blend some of these together and really bring this together so it starts to look like an actual living being instead of just a statue. And I'm trying really hard not to show you because I've got Anjanath sitting about a foot to my right now, and I want to show it to you, but I want to wait till I get all of them together. And I could show it to you all at one time because I think that reveal would be much more spectacular than, kind of ruin it all right now. So, but here we're just trying to pick and clean. I don't know what I would call this method, if it's, because we're not quite wet blending yet. We're not quite dry brushing. We're just kind of I don't know, slap chop. If you got ideas, comment it in below with what you think it is called, whatever method this is, and we'll go with that because I don't know. This is just what I do. This is the Nick method. The hinge method. How about that? We'll make that a thing. Or to quote Mean Girls, stop trying to make that a thing. If you get the reference. I am going to I'm trying to keep you guys in camera, and I'm working around this right now. I want to make it look like these scales are cream, but some of these scales are red, so that it's a combination of it. I don't want it fully cream. I'm going to call this cream instead of bone white. It's cream colored. instead of bone white. I think it's cream. So I want the cream to kind of come through, but I also want the red to be there too. Let's see if I can get the light to turn on. Is that a little better? I don't know if it helps quite as much. Let's see. It's a smidge. We'll take it. But we're coming in. And I want to try to get this as smooth as I can, because the transition between this cream and these red scales, especially on the legs, is pretty pronounced. So like through here, these larger armored scales need to be red, and there's going to be some black highlights on them. But the underbelly and these smaller scales are definitely going to be this cream color. And I'm trying to keep like these bone spikes on the tail. Let me pull that back over there. I was trying to keep them gray from the gray primer, but when I was slapping the red around, it kind of got a little red on it. So now I'm just trying to bring that back. Let's see if I can bring the chin here. So the chin underneath here, I definitely want to get back to cream. A little bit of this is still wet. The fan didn't quite hit it. One of the things I wish you could do with these models, and they come attached to their bases, and I understand why. You know, the way they explain it online is the models, the monsters themselves are supposed to just be not, you know, I don't think they ever intended for you to paint them. They're just supposed to be there. And so like they come attached to the base already, and I wish they didn't, because trying to get some of these spots on these other models has been hell on earth. And not fun at all. I gotta get a little red and fix this. I'm just trying to blend it in. Get a little more of the red. We'll hold that steady there for a minute. So like through here. I've got a little bit of that coming through. So I want to make sure I highlight that. Just trying to make it even without overdoing it. Now, what I plan on doing here with this red gray concoction that's watered down here, I'm going to let that evaporate slowly here to the point where it becomes the right consistency, because right now it's pretty much water. It is way too thin for the work I'm doing. It's too thin for an airbrush, it's too thin for everything, which is fine when I was just slapping it on with that great big brush. When I'm trying to do detail work, it's obviously way too thin for it. You need kind of a light touch. So we're going to let that sit there for a hot minute and kind of let it evaporate a touch for that. But while we wait, we're going to head up our spikes back here, try to get that closer to the bone white, just so when I come back through to make that look like actual bone later on, it has kind of a lighter base to go on. So I'm not trying to cover up red to make it look like bone. I'm working with the bone white and going through that. Pretty simple steps right now, guys. It's not a lot of work. It's about just having patience through this. You're not focused on that steady hand quite yet. You know, any sort of, oh, I did too much. You know, you're gonna fix that when it all comes down to those details. When you start to, you know, when I break out the wet palette back here, and focus on, you know, the black highlights, the wing designs. The thumbnail of the first video I put shows from the Monster Hunter movie the actual wing designs that I need to freehand. So that's going to be fun to do. But yeah. So we got a good start. Nothing crazy going on. This is about small steps, or in this case, big steps for small things. I'm going to go put it on in front of the fan so we can start drying, and we're going to go from there. What else can I talk about real quick? I don't know. That's all I got, guys. Just working on that. This is probably going to be a 3 or 4-parter. Just trying to make things, you know, explain it as we go. And, yeah, we're going to have some fun. Like, comment, subscribe if you haven't. As of this moment, we have 95 subscribers, so thank you very much for that. Hopefully we can hit 100 and keep on going. And we'll go from there. All right, talk to you.